Hi class, Jolene here. Let's take a look at previous student work for lesson 5 for the pictograms. So the directions call for you to create 4 matching pictograms that are directional, that tell people without using language where to go, basically. So this one could be one from a grocery store, and we could find the mushrooms here, and the squashes here, and the carrots here, and the avocados here. Now, these really should be in black and white. You can use some color if you really think you need to, but they should be able to stand on their own in black and white. And I think this one would. Let's take a look at another one. Here's how all the brainstorming looks. And now this is the student doing some roughs, trying to sort out what he or she's going to do with the shapes. I see some camping things going on. Okay, so now we can see that this is where sailboating would happen, fishing, camping, and picnicking. These would work just fine in black and white, and you don't need to color the background of the 8.5 by 11 that these are going to go on. You don't have to color these backgrounds either, but you can. Here's one that works really well. The idea here is that you want the style of each one of them to match. So this looks like something you might find in a music store, and the different instruments you might find there. So you want your stroke width to be the same on all of them. Anytime there's things that you can repeat, like the lines going this way, and then we've got lines going this way. That works out really nice. They need to match in style. So whatever style you pick, then stick with it. And you should experiment with different styles. And you'll see a bunch of different styles as we move along here. Here's another one. Brainstorm. Working on different roughs. And I think, okay, so this is the final. So say we're at Target and we're looking for the cameras versus the computers, iPod type devices, calculators. And then this student tried it with different styles and different colors, and then just black and white. We can see here from this one that the black and white works just fine. So this student kind of deviated from the norm. I'm not sure where you would find these, but as you can see, these are 4 different ways, 4 different natural disasters: tornadoes, fire, flooding, and earthquakes. And again, I think these would work just fine in black and white, but the 2 color, that's working really well too. This one is different sports. Tell you the truth, I'm not sure what that one is. These should all be universally understood. Oh, that's diving. Okay, I see it now. But stylistically, they're working really well. I'm showing you the ones I think work really well first, and then I'm going to show you some that don't quite hit the mark. All right, so looks like we're thinking about weapons here, and then that is the final. These are things that you can memory cards of one kind or another, 4 different ones. This one is another one that kind of deviates from what these are supposed to be pictograms, but it is kind of funny, you have to admit. My life this semester goes to bed, goes to school, goes to work, goes to bed. Kind of funny. But these are supposed to be directional pictograms, so I recommend you stick with that. Another one where the styles work really well together. See if you can guess that one. We can see it's different types of mustaches, and we even get 4 more. Those are pretty fun. And using silhouettes for different sports here. Take a look here. This is the process for the one I just showed you. This one is looks like scary stuff at Halloween. Or maybe it's, yeah, see, I'm not sure what these would be helping a user find. But they're clever looking. Make sure though that they're true pictograms, directional pictograms. Here's another one for a music store, and more specifically 4 different stringed instruments, and you can see the 2 different styles. In this one, the student broke it in parts, in half, made them black and white, and then reversed each side out. And stylistically, that looks really nice, but it works just as well here. If you're at the zoo and you want to find the reptiles or the elephants or the apes or looks like ostriches, this will help you find them. Another one you might see, maybe you might see this one at SeaWorld. This one tells us the seasons. Again, very interesting stylistically, only using a portion of the image in the square. Here's one you might find in a gym, and this student used a style called loose color. If you've taken my GD 225 class illustration, you would have learned how to do this loose color styling, and it works really well for this. Here's an interesting style for balls. Now, a lot of people have done different balls for different sports, but this is a very interesting styling. It's kind of rough, but it works, and they're all the same. Now, this one is hand-drawn, even the 3.5-inch squares. And note that each of the illustration goes outside the square. So this is a very interesting style, and it works. Here's one where we have the half and half black and white for things having to do with coffee, a coffee grinder, a pot, a cup, and cream and sugar. I think we saw that one at the beginning. Fruits and vegetables. This one's piercings. So you have all these circles and all the line weights match. This one, if you go into a men's store, you know where to find the shirts, shoes, hats, and pants. Let's see what this one has. These are the roughs. And then we see these are for a shopping mall directory. Pet store, food, coffee, clothes. And this looks like another way of doing that same thing with a different styling. Let's see what else we have behind this. Yeah, so using that kind of dotted line seam work to create a style. I think I showed you that one. Uh, this is looks like ways you can get yourself killed by a steamroller, a hippo eating you, an alligator biting your face, or falling off a cliff. It's pretty fun. So if you're at the mall, at the food court, you can find all these delicious things. Disney characters, then they're just silhouettes. Uh, if you're out in the wilderness and you need directions, you need to know where the campfires are, where you can go fishing, and where the tent areas are. Tent areas are. This one's cleaning supplies. Uh, so not sure. The styling works really well. I guess different modes of transportation. Um, let's see if he says here. Signs you might see along the highway. Uh, tell if you're in a hardware store where you can find these different tools, different controls for playing games, different things you can do while you're out camping. Looks like seasons, but also trying some other things. And then trying them with different styles. And that's where this student ended up. So if you're on the slopes, you know, where you can get your equipment, where you can go for coffee, where you can go for first aid, or where you can find the snowboards. Monsters. Now, different stylings for monsters, different ways of presenting them within the square. And in this case, this student is trying a circle or a diamond shape and trying to add some color. And then this is the final for that one. So this one you see, each one of these uses a thick and thin line for emphasis. And all of them have thick and thick lines. They all go outside slightly the square. So that's working really well. Okay, some icons you might, or pictograms you might find in a gym. Hats. Different types of hats from in a hat store. Where you'll find that if you're in a baby store, where to find the toys, the cribs, pacifiers, and other things like that, and clothes. So that's working really well. This is where the same student's trials. This is a really good way to do this. You can feel free to change your squares to have rounded edges like this if you want. This student did brainstorm and drawing, sketching first, and then took a picture of it and added it to her file. If you to the Illustrator file, if you want to do it that way, that's perfectly fine. And here it looks like she's doing some Disney character hairstyles, refining, now trying them in different ways. Just the outlines here, reversing it, adding just a little bit of color, trying it other ways, more ways, and that is the final. This guy did a bunch of different things, so different modes of transportation and different kinds of birds that you might find at a zoo and different monuments uh, that are well known. The Big Ben clock tower, our Statue of Liberty, the in Paris, can't think of it, and that's the Opera House in Australia. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't think of that. Eiffel Tower, that's what it's called. Here we go. Let's see what this one is. Brainstorming, roughing, and then camping icons or pictograms. So we see um, the four forces of nature here. Let's see what else this student did. I'm not sure where he was going with that one, but this is the one that he ultimately turned in. Roughs, trying different styles, more styles, refining that style, and then there's the final. So if you're in a nursery, here you can find the vegetables, the fruits, the flowers, and the trees. And each one of them simply has this triangular notch taken out of them where light would be. And so that works really well as a style. Okay, so this student tried a whole bunch of different things. That is the final. But look at all the different ways he tried it. Lots of different samples here. Now, actually, these all look like, no, there's something different about it, all of them. But he writes in here, there you go. So that was the one he decided on, and there's the final for it. Okay, so this student is looking at camping things. Look how she came up with her color palette. Found some plates, maybe some Fiesta ware plates or something on the internet, and then used them to create a palette. Different types of lodging, cars, tents, different things, just trying out different things. And then this is her final. Now I want to show you how this student used those. At the end of this semester, you're going to be doing a Behance portfolio. So I'm going to move this page over here so you can see this. So this is her Behance portfolio, and in particular, this is how she displayed these icons. So she took it a step further. She used photos that she had herself taken, added type to it, and then just that that simple drawing of this particular icon. So this is something that you might see in a camping store or something like that. Let's see, I think she had some more of these. Let me see. Oops. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this is another example, and then she's got in between all these different ones that she tried, and then there's another one with the same type and styling as this one. So when you get to the point of your portfolio, you can see how you can take what you've created on all these different assignments and take them to the next step where they're whoever's looking at them can see how they might be used. Okay, a few more here. So sewing. This one's a little bit tricky because the styling is a little bit different, but I think it probably still works. Okay, let's look at some of these that are pretty darn good, but um, well, actually, I don't know why I said that one wasn't working very well because this one is working well. This would work really well for a grocery store where you can find your meat and fish, your vegetables, your dairy products, and your bread products. Oh, actually, this is another really good one. You might see this at the butcher where you can see how different animals are cut up, where the different parts come from. Now, this is great illustration, but way too much detail. So if you get this much detail, start taking things away, taking pieces of it away until you narrow it down. So maybe this is something that you would find in a casino, but and the idea is good, but the styles don't match. So if you want to try something like this, try to figure out a way to do it and make the styles match. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, this is another one where the styles just don't really match. Again, too much detail here. This one, if you got to put the words there, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. This one, I have no idea. Looks like maybe different holidays, 4th of July, Christmas, Halloween. I'm not sure what that is, but mostly what the problem with this is the styles don't match at all. This is where you find different things in an office. The water cooler, staplers, computers, copy machine. This works pretty well, but a little bit too much detail, but it's pretty good. So I hope those examples give you some ideas and show you what the expectations are.